40 volunteers who go to great lengths to cater to the interests of English-speaking readers in Daegu. Foreign tourists, as well as long-term foreign residents, can find out where to go and what to do by checking out the city's hot spots, including restaurants, bars, and shops, all introduced in the Daegu Pockets. And now they're off to the streets. They'll be conducting interviews with people on the streets and distributing the magazine today.
We're going to be going to the Migrant Workers Association across the street here. There's a lot of foreign workers here that have sometimes they need support and they need help or whatever like that about surviving and living in Daegu. So we're going to have an interview with the president and who else?
The lawyer.
The lawyer.
Prey's founding idea came from his understanding there's a lack of adequate English information source for foreigners in Korea. So far, he and his team have been successful in reaching out to readers with the most up-to-date news about and around Daegu.
Daegu Pockets is, I think, it can help us to promote our mission, our vision, especially in our council as a human rights. We need to publish and to know our people what our working for.
The distribution of magazines is a job reserved for Scott McLaughlin.
We are going to distribute our June magazine.
He and his partner are on their way to distribute their newly released June issue.
Do people like our magazine, do you think?
생각하시기에 사람들이 이 매거진을 많이 좋아하시는 것 같은지.
Good. Hi. Excuse me.
He also interviews prospective readers on the streets to see if anything would be of interest.
Yes, I did see it before.
I do like magazines. It's very informative.
Oh, nice, nice. Did it help you when you first arrived to Daegu?
It did. I like the maps. The maps are very good.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, thank you for being readers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We hope to see the Daegu Pockets grow into a national, multilingual information source, introducing Korea's traditional and modern culture to foreigners. The first issue came out in February, so it's been some months now. What kind of reactions have you been getting from people?
Very positive.
Yeah.
We're very. I think we've struck something that obviously has been missing, not just for the foreign population down there and the foreign tourism, but also English learning, English Korean, English learning and English knowing, studying Koreans, and it's really great because we're starting to see. I guess before Daegu Pockets and before we started attempting to do a lot of this event collaboration between the foreign community and the Korean community, there was two segments. There was always the Koreans who are learning English, and they're always wondering how we can integrate more with the foreigners here and learn and so on, and also with the foreign community. And now that we're tying into this magazine and the events, it's very harmonious, and that's one thing most people say to us. It's great that we can finally merge the foreign and Korean community into a bona fide international community or internationally minded community.
So your readership is not just foreigners, they include Koreans as well,
right,
who are interested in improving their English.
Exactly. Our target market is actually foreigners, but English studying Koreans or Koreans who know English.
Yeah.
And that's the larger readership that we want because let's face it, I mean, there's only about 50,000, 60,000 English-speaking residents as native speakers in this country. That's the size of maybe a large university campus. There's a lot of other magazines catering to that isolated demographic, and I think it excludes the fact that there is this demand for. There's a lot of people that read the Korean Herald. A lot of people read Korean Times who are wanting to learn English. Why not having something like this? So
something more local,
something local,
close to home.
Yeah, instead of just learning about information about overseas, learn about your own community, learn about the restaurants, new restaurants that are opening up. Why not learn that in English? Why not learn that with Korean language supplements? events in English.
You're printing about 4,000 copies a month now, yes? Which is an increase from the beginning.
Yeah, we started off with 1,000, and we originally, myself and my partner Scott McLaughlin, who's my partner here, and we decided, we agreed that we're just going to give it for 12 months. We're going to do 1,000 a month, unless something happens. We learned a wise lesson. Scott and I learned a wise lesson from other magazine publishers up in Seoul, and they said most magazines fail within the first 12 months. But if you can get through that 12 months, then, okay, you've got something happening. So we said, let's just give it 12 months at 1,000 a month. And then things started happening, and more people coming to us, helping out, and we're now up to 4,000. And we're still going step by step. We're still taking a very methodical approach as we build out this recipe. So we're not, the enthusiasm has been great, but we're also very tempered about it. We're very, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Why is it called Daegu Pockets?
Well, because it's simply because we wanted to have a pocket magazine, something that can fit in your pocket. Foreigners often want to have maps or something like that. They can pick out, where am I? Oh, where do I go next? And something having in a pocket would be much more useful there, rather than something that you got to curl up and stick in your bag.
It's also a pocket of information.
Exactly.
For foreigners.
That's right.
So the reason why you decided to publish this magazine is because there was a lack of information available in English for foreigners.
Yeah.
So what kind of information does the magazine carry?
Well, the magazine carries a lot about the maps of the places that foreigners and internationally minded Koreans frequent, as well as we have usually about 2 to 3 to 4, well actually this month about 4 pages of translated news summaries of where we would scour the internet and Daegu news feeds to see, is there anything being written about in Korean that could have play with the foreign audience or internationally minded Koreans, and we would translate that. So in that regard, it acts as a newspaper source, so it keeps people up to date what's happening in the city, events, like I said, reviews, and little interesting stories about people living in Daegu, and maybe told a little bit different, so that way maybe Koreans are hearing a familiar story, but maybe hearing it for the first time in a different way, in a different angle.
Where can one find those magazines?
We've got very good coverage of distribution partners through downtown Daegu, as well as the major hotels such as Novotel, Interbrook Hotel, our Daegu's great convention center called Exco. They do have a lot of foreigners and tourism going through there. They always pick up magazines, and things in those markets usually go out. The magazine goes really quick. We're also beginning to build deep coverage and relationships with the international centers on the major university campuses, such as Keimyung University and Kyungbu University, because those are really hotbeds for foreign international relations and a lot of activity there. So we're going to be also networking in those areas too.
Well, the magazine costs 0.1.
Right.
It's for free. But obviously there are people who work on the magazine, not just you and your partner, but some 40 volunteers. And they all do this because?
They're very patient, and they're very kind and considerate. I think everyone is excited about what we're doing and what we're trying to do and what our long-term vision is. And so we do have a lot of people that are willing to help on their own time. And sometimes it's tough because we are deadline sensitive, of course. So the more people that we have, the better. So we're always interested in having more people help us.
Well, human input is also good, but you actually need monetary input to get those printed. How do you make ends meet?
We've got some really good relationships with some sponsors who are that do event sponsors, such as we've got major international events happening in Daegu, and the people that back those also help out with us, as well as we have advertisers such as restaurants and things like that.
So you have to raise funds. This is where your marketing abilities kick in.
That's Scott's thing. I'm more on the content development side, and Scott's baby is making sure that we've got the means to do it all.
I'm sure as a magazine